Hey guys, welcome to your Twin Flame Collective reading. So let's see what energy the collective is dealing with and will be dealing with. Let's see what's coming the collective's way. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. And we do have the Ten of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Okay. Let's see the clarifiers before we dive in any deeper. The clarifiers for the collective, please. Okay. And we have the Nine of Cups on the bottom of the deck. All right. Okay. So, first and foremost, I am getting an energy of a separation, okay? So the collective I am tapping into right now is dealing with, or has been dealing with, a separation here. And of course, a twin flame separation is always something very difficult and painful to be dealing with. That's kind of the norm, if you'd like. But Spirit is giving me the words particularly difficult. So this would be a situation which was, for some reason, extra hard, extra... Actually, Spirit is giving me the image of two people working in a kind of an office environment, is what I'm seeing, and they're kind of walking by each other, ignoring each other. So in some cases, for the collective I'm tapping into right now, in some cases your twin is someone you work with, or you, perhaps not on a daily basis, but it may be someone with whom you interact in a work situation or work setting kind of often, or in some cases if it's someone you have kids with and you've gone through a separation, then you would have to deal with each other based on custody and things like that, right? So this is the energy, the very difficult energy of having to deal with your twin in a separated energy, in a separated vibe, which perhaps to some might seem like it's a lesser evil than being entirely separated from your twin, but it doesn't feel like that in this situation. In this situation, the fact that one twin is seeing the other one in a separated energy is... is triggering the wound of the separation again and again and again and again. So it's a very, very, very intensified pain of separation. And it's clear to me that it was a one-sided decision to separate. If that's not your situation, then either way, you and your twin are in a separated situation, in a separation, either you haven't connected yet in the 3D, or you have but you are not actually in a relationship. You may be in a relationship but you're not physically with each other. So there's a distance there. Could be long distance relationships. But either way, the distance is very frustrating, very painful, and the fact that there is some interaction, because Spirit is giving me that energy. There is some sort of an interaction, but it's not the kind of interaction that it should be, actually. And this is very painful and very frustrating for one of the twins. I'm not entirely sure what the other one is going through. I'm not getting that energy so much. I am getting the energy of frustration, so it could be frustration on both parts. For some reason, you still need to be apart. But there's a decision here to try to salvage. The Spirit is giving me the word salvage. Try to salvage what can be salvaged, trying to not recover, but rather rebuild or lay a new foundation and build again. There may have been some attempts to resume communications or to engage in communication, and they haven't been successful so far. So you may be feeling a little bit discouraged, a little bit like the wind has been taken away from your sails, in a sense. And of course you would feel that way, right? So there's some wounding here which is being re-triggered, abandonment, an overwhelming sense of failure, in a sense. But these are things that you should be working on, because you should work on overcoming them and not allow those lower frequencies to kind of get a hold of you, right? Try your best to move on from those feelings and from those emotional vibrations, which Spirit is kind of showing me as a swamp. So this is a swamp, emotionally speaking. You are struggling to kind of get out of a swamp, and actually Spirit is showing me, so I'm seeing a swamp and I'm seeing some sort of trees, and there's a beam of light kind of coming through, kind of between those trees, and if you follow that beam of light, if you follow that direction, somewhere in the distance I'm seeing a different landscape. So the message here would be to kind of follow what uplifts you, practice what makes you feel better, hobbies, rituals, practices, anything which is of a higher vibration and makes you feel better, because that's going to help you kind of get out of the funk, if you'd like, right? On the other hand, why it's important for you to get out of that funk is the fact that I am seeing here a reconciliation, okay? So I'm actually seeing it clearly in the cards. It's not a feeling or something that makes sense in the context of a twin flame connection. I'm actually seeing a reconciliation here. And when that kind of an event, reaching out, responding, wanting to meet, wanting to talk, wanting to kind of try to figure things out, interacting on a higher vibration, that's the point I'm trying to make here. So there's a pause in interaction, there's a pause in the willingness to move forward with a connection. There's a break, okay? And then there's a resuming, if you'd like, of discussions, interactions, willingness. When this point of resuming your interaction comes, you should be at the highest frequency you can, because if you lead with a low frequency, you reintroduce low frequencies into your interaction, re-trigger them, they are going to re-trigger you, and that's going to slow down significantly your pace of reconnection. We do have here a clear opportunity for you to reconcile, okay? So you should be leading with the highest vibe you can and help the process along. Now let's see here what's your advice from Spirit. Right. Observe. And on the bottom of the deck we have the darkest fears, of course. So this is a point where you should be very cautious and very careful about introducing that frequency of the darkest fears into this potential reconciliation, because there's nothing set in stone, right? Of course, your higher purpose, your life's purpose, your divine mission is to eventually achieve a divine union with your twin flame. But how that plays out in a lifetime by lifetime basis, it's not set in stone. It's a flux of energy, and it's largely dependent on what you and your divine counterpart kind of manage to negotiate, if you'd like. So there are points when you need to be very careful about your own energy, first and foremost, because oftentimes we introduce a specific frequency into the connection, or it is introduced from the outside sometimes. And if it finds a fertile ground within our own energy and within our divine counterpart's energy, then it blossoms, if you'd like. If it's a low vibe and it finds fertile ground, then it's going to grow into a magnificent construction of low frequency, and it's going to be harder and harder to deal with it, harder and harder to kind of eradicate, right? On the other hand, what we are introducing is high frequencies, high vibes. Then if and when they find fertile ground on both sides, then they are going to grow and blossom and bloom into a magnificent construction of high vibes, right? And that's going to give you shelter from lower vibes. So the point here is to observe the various energies being introduced into your connection. Try to look at them not necessarily based on who is introducing them, where they are coming from, and rather work on making the soil of your energy and the soil of your twin flame's energy by mirroring friendly to high vibes and unfriendly to low vibes. So cultivating inner peace, cultivating balance, cultivating high vibes, high frequency states of mind, like gratitude, like unconditional love, like healing, right? If you cultivate those types of energies, then low vibe seeds find it much more difficult to kind of take root and grow there, right? So that's your advice from Spirit here. Now, in the extended, we are going to see how these energies play out for the Divine Feminine and Masculine separately. I hope you will join me there. If not, I'm sending you my highest vibes of unconditional love and support, and we'll be seeing you soon, okay? Bye!